question is that after the promised Messiah, if there is any reformer, and if there is a reformer, what is the relation between this reformer and the Khalifa? السؤال هو من هذا الأخ من المغرب يسأل: بعد مجيء الإمام المهدي والمسيح الموعود محيا للإسلام وجدد الدين وأحياه، هل يأتي بعده مجددين؟ وإذا كان هناك مجددين يأتون بعده، فما علاقة المجدد بالخليفة خليفة الجماعة الإسلامية الأحمدية؟
I have already spoken on this subject repeatedly at different occasions, but I think I should like to repeat the answer because so many people keep wondering about this. The question of Khilafat is mentioned in the Holy Quran. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ وَيُبَدِّلَنَّ لَهُم مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. This is Khilafah, which was promised to the followers of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the whole Ummah, the entire all of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that I promise you that I'll make you Khalifa in this world exactly as I made Khalifa earlier. But who is addressed? Those who believe in Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So it does not mean that Khalifatullah here means the Prophet or the Messenger appointed by Allah. The promise is made not to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's already made a Khalifa, the very best of all the Khulafa, who were Allah's Khulafa. So it's a different Khilafat which is being mentioned as a promise. And how would we know what sort of Khilafat that is? So the earlier people are referred to. Exactly or like we made the earlier people our vicegerents on earth, our deputies on earth, so also we'll make you our deputies or vicegerent on earth. So who were the earlier people? First of all, Jesus Christ comes in the forefront. Then Moses. And because Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is likened unto Moses in the Holy Quran and also in the Old Testament, so we understand rightly so that this is the reference to the earlier people. Now there we find two types of Khilafats after the Prophet. One type is appointed by Allah directly, and one type is elected by the people under Allah's blessing. One type, which is earlier, was appointment by God of various reformers from time to time, so that the people are kept on the right path. And the second part belongs to the election, but guided election by Allah. And in that there is no separating period in between. The moment a prophet dies, another one takes his place. So in light of this, when we look at the history of Islam, we see that immediately after Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Abu Bakr was made the Khalifa. So the promise was kept more so while Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had just passed away. It is impossible for God to forget His promise at that most important moment in the history of Islam and later on start implementing it. So that is the most important event to help us understand this promise and its fulfillment. So it is Khilafat as it occurred through the instrument of the believers in Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They got together at the hand of one person. The election as we understand in democracy was not carried out. but the consensus of the whole Ummah was a witness, stood a testimony in favor of the election to be under Allah's guidance. Even Hazrat Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu had to accept it, gave his hand to him. There's no exception whatsoever. So this is the first meaning of Khilafah. But Mujaddidiyat is not known there, no separate reformer comes, none is considered to be needed at all. Then comes the second Khilafat, exactly in the same style, then the third, and at the fourth that split begins. And when the split begins, then this Khilafat al-Rashida is lifted from earth. Because in this there is a promise of unity. This verse will only be applicable when yabudunani la yushrikuna bi shay'a. They present the scenario of a united people under one God. So the moment they split, they forego their right of the fulfillment of this promise. Now this interpretation which I am presenting to you is fully, entirely supported by the history of Islam as it got unfolded immediately after the demise of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.